I don't like harping on this, but I tend to, I guess, on my channel, if you watch any of this in chronological order, in the distant future, hello, I tend to harp on certain things. I've made several videos on the argument from objective morality for the existence of God, and I've harped on a couple of political issues, and of course, I harp for the most part on atheism. But ultimately, I'm a skeptic. And the reason why I've been jabbering on about feminism a lot lately is because I am a skeptic of that movement. And the national narrative, the media narrative, doesn't seem to understand what's going on here. And it's because of this Gamergate thing, and because of their targeting of I mean, we've done this before. If you're subscribed to a lot of atheist channels, and if you don't, I don't know what you're watching me for. A year or two ago, there was a lot of negativity in our little niche community of atheism directed at feminism, because feminism had infected atheism and done the whole free thought blogs, atheism plus shit, and it was a huge debacle. And all of my favorite YouTubers, well, not all of them, but most of them, were on board with, like, what the fuck is this bullshit? And now that's happening to another important interest of mine, which is video games. And they have been much more successful in attacking video games in the video game industry. It's been bad. It's been terrible. Their success has affected gaming journalism. It's affected video game distribution and sales in stores. The reason why I'm making this is because of that ban that was done on GTA 5 in Australia. Now, I don't know very much about Australia, but I might know more than the next American anyway, that Australia's government has kind of gone a little bit Puritan lately. And they have an extremely restrictive and kind of oppressive stance towards films and video games. Video games especially have been demonized in their culture, and it can be extremely hard to get graphic video games that were, developed and made in America or Europe in Australia. And it's surprising that they haven't banned GTA 5 nationally. But Target and Kmart brand stores in Australia have banned the sale of GTA 5. Now, why do I bring that up in relation to what I was just talking about, which is skepticism? They banned the game based on a petition circulated by a feminist that gave her reasoning on the petition for why she wanted this game to get banned, was that the game was violent and sexually violent towards women. And it gave a list of reasons, specific reasons in the game. And each of those reasons, all of them were lies. They were not in the game. I played the game for several hours. I've beaten it 3 times. You can't get health for killing women. You cannot rape a woman. And you can attack a woman, but you are given literally no incentive to do so. This is a game that attempts to realistically portray a fictionalized version of South Central Los Angeles, which they call San Andreas. It's just a parody of that area, of that culture, and of modern life. I mean, among things you can do in the game is visit a parody of Facebook, have a parody of an iPhone. Mostly the game is tongue-in-cheek parody. Now, in the game, there's pedestrians walking the streets, there's pedestrians in buildings, there's airports, there's businesses, and it does a very, very good job of creating a realistic feeling city, and you are capable of doing anything and given a large arsenal of weapons with which to do anything. The focus of the game's story is on bank robbery, and heists, and fighting opposing mobsters and gangsters. But you can, through the freedom of the game mechanic, attack pedestrians. You can run people over with cars. You can commit a terrorist attack on an airport. Not in a mission structure. You're not paid or given points or something for doing this. These are just things you physically can do. Because the game isn't like Super Mario Brothers where there's levels. You were given a world and you can just go and do whatever you want. There are things you were supposed to do to advance the story, but you don't have to. You can go anywhere and do anything. So you can walk up and stab, punch, explode, run over a woman or a man or a coyote or a deer. There's mountain lions in the game. There's great white sharks. You can go take a boat and freaking attack other boats. You can do anything you want, but the game insinuates that you can rape women. This is not true. There are there's prostitutes in the game, and they can simulate sex acts. No clothes are taken off. It's kind of bawdy and stupid. I don't think it should be in the game, but you can do that, but you have to pay them. And they say, well, like, oh, the only thing they say that's even remotely true is, oh, you can attack the woman and get your money back. Well, first of all, no, you can't get your money back. You pay her like $100, and she might drop 20. If you kill her, she might drop nothing. It's a randomized thing that civilians will sometimes drop money when they die. And so will bad guys. You don't get health points for having any sort of sexual intercourse with a woman. What else was I going to say? The other thing is, this is hilarious and you might not understand if you're not a video game player. This is like the 10th or so Grand Theft Auto game ever made, even though it says Grand Theft Auto 5. And this game is exceptional among Grand Theft Auto for the ability of the police force in the game to respond to you as a threat. Civilians will call the police on you if you do almost anything. And civilians will even attack you and defend other civilians from you, especially, by the way, if they're a woman. If you punch a woman in the face, you can expect the entire block around you full of pedestrians to attack you. The police have stop sticks. They will shoot your tires out. They will fucking ram your car off the road using realistic pit maneuvers. They have helicopters with snipers. They have SWAT teams that will rappel onto buildings. And they will come for you. And they will find you. And they will kill you. And it doesn't matter if you put a silencer on your fucking gun. It doesn't matter how secretive you try to be attacking people. You could be up on a building and shoot one of these pedestrian sprites. You know, these simulated people. And they should never be seen as real people. It's a video game. You shoot them, right? They'll call the police. And the police will start looking for you. And they'll find you. And they'll kill you. And if you shoot a policeman, oh, by George, you're in trouble. Because then they call the SWAT. And you get fucked up. And you can't get away with shit. You will have to have an encounter with the police over just about fucking anything. And they're oppressive. And they stop you from having this mayhem, sort of, malicious, gleeful, sadistic response to the game, because they will fucking own your shit. And it becomes not fun to attack civilians because the cops will come after you and whip your fucking ass. That's not fun. So there's very, very little incentive to commit violence against any innocent person represented in a video game, in that video game. And especially women. There's no specific reason why women are any different from men in that video game any more than they are in real fucking life. Feminism is dishonest. It's blatantly, obviously sexist. And the reason why I keep talking about it is because I see people I have the utmost respect for, who I like to think, like in the case of Steve Shives I mentioned a couple weeks ago, going, I should say I'm a feminist. He has this furious look on his face. He says, you know what I think to all the people who have a problem with me being a feminist? And he just has this furious look like this on his face, and he just goes like that. And because I know Steve Shives is just a humanist, okay? At least I feel confident in saying that. Of course I don't know that. I have evidence to believe he believes men and women are equal, and he thinks that feminism is a representation of a group of people who want to erase any inequality towards women and to speak out against domestic violence and all of that, and maybe has something to do with the real oppression of women in third world cultures and in certain Muslim cultures and certain African cultures and certain Asian cultures. This is bad, is real. It's not that way here. And it's not that way in Europe. It's not that way in a lot of the first world countries. By and large, women have suffrage, rights of their own body, rights to property, rights to inheritance, fucking the same opportunities of work. They're equal. And he thinks feminism's about that. When it comes to the Anita Sarkeesian and Sue Park and fucking what's her name, Quinn, and Rebecca Watson, these are not equalists. These are not women should be equal. These are female supremacists. These are literally sexist man-haters who project their fierce hatred of our culture, not video game culture, not male culture, our culture, their fierce hatred of Western culture, and declare that women should not just be equal to men, but superior. They think that the way to fix any sort of pay gap is to pay men less, not pay women more. It's fucking... They're the ones who are basically eliminating due process in college rape investigations that basically remove all chance of the accused party to defend himself. Because the thing is, we have the court of public opinion, and slander and fucking character assassination is a severe problem, especially when you're accusing a person who has not even seen a fucking police officer or a courtroom of rape. And then they go and fucking belittle the term rape by calling this asking a woman for coffee is rape. And fucking if a woman has buyer's remorse because she got intoxicated and had sex with someone she didn't really want to, that's rape. There's literally women out there who, if you tell them, oh, I have a lot of money and I have a really nice car, but you're lying and you're broke and the car is something you borrowed from a friend, you raped them because they decided to make the decision to sleep with you because they thought you were rich or thought you were somebody who they weren't. And even though it was 100% consensual, if they find out that you misled them, that's rape. I'm serious. These people are psychopaths, narcissists, sociopaths, malignant, super leftist, fucking social communist nutcases. And I will never, ever, ever identify as a feminist. Ever because of them. And I know it's not all of them, but it's way more of them than any feminist will admit to. And they have the national narrative. They got Emma Watson in front of the UN saying, not all feminists are man-haters. Show me those feminists. Freaking Saudi Arabia recently renewed their ban on allowing women to drive. Like I said, infanticide, female genital mutilation, the entirety of Islamic culture. But keep in mind that these are not just feminists, they're social justice warriors. They're freaking self-loathing white women and anti-white racist women of color, and the white men and men of color, whatever you want to say, other ethnicities, who support them for reasons unknown to me, who all have this narrative where they would sooner call me an Islamophobic racist than challenge Islam and its treatment of women and just people in society in general. If I said anything about jihad and about freaking a man throwing acid in a woman's face in Pakistan for going to school, they would sooner call me a racist than condemn that Muslim man. This is why I will never, ever, ever, ever call myself a feminist. Ever. I'm an egalitarian. I believe in equal rights of all peoples, of all ethnicities. I don't even like to use the word race because scientifically it's been proven that race doesn't exist. We are the human fucking Homo sapien species. Okay? Women are equal to men. All skin colors are equal to each other in geographic localities of heritage, to use that super politically correct term that I just made up. Okay? That's what I believe. And people keep telling me, oh, that makes you a feminist. Not anymore. And in fact, I don't think that was ever the case. I think that's a myth perpetrated by these liars and fraudsters and con men, con women as well, to fucking try to co-opt the liberal, progressive, humanist, secularist narrative to their racist, sexist, supremacist, evil, fucking anti-freedom, anti-free speech, Marxist fucking culture. And it's fucking insane. And it's intrinsically revolting to me as an individual, because I hate liars, I hate hypocrites, I hate just prejudiced bigotry. And that's what feminism is. It's racism, sexism, bigotry, classism. It's everything prejudice. It is everything prejudice. Okay? I will never, ever identify as a feminist. And it's exactly opposite of the reason you think. It's not because I'm a slob or a privileged white male or a middle-class American. It's none of those reasons. It's actually precisely because I am a good person, because I possess empathy, because I possess skepticism, and because I possess a sense of fairness and equality, then I am not a feminist. Feminism is evil. Prove me wrong.